All right, so let's say you wanted to send off a quote or an invoice to a customer because they came into your shop, but you want to use the InkSoft platform. Where you're going to want to head to is Business Tools on your top navigational bar, and you will see Quotes and Invoices, Manage, Create New Quote, Create New Invoice, or Payments. Now, before we actually get into creating a quote, invoice, and talking about art approvals, we definitely want to go into your Business Tools settings so that any notifications or approvals or invoice paid or anything like that, you will get notified via email. So where I'm going to head to is Business Tools and then Settings. Here you're going to see some settings that you can set up, priority, stage, department, print method. Now your priority, stage, department, and print method is more along the lines associated with your calendar. So any event as far as, an invoice you can mark it as, or you can also put it in a specific department. So maybe that invoice is under your art department right now because they are working on the artwork. You also can add stages. So you can add a priority, you can add a department just by clicking the plus sign at the bottom of each specific accordion. Now, before we get into email notifications, you're going to want to go into your terms. Now, we do have some terms already set up for you that you can either use, you can add from that, or you can completely take them out and edit those specific terms. Now, it is default art approval terms or a default quote and invoice term. So any information that you would want to put in there, definitely suggest editing or adding to these specific terms. Email notifications. Now you'll notice we have some boxes here, and to the left it says what you would actually get notified on. Art approved, quote approved, invoice paid, and customer comments. Customer comments. You can put as many emails in here as you want. The only thing is you're going to want to make sure you're only separating with a comma, no space. So it would be email, comma, email. Now, again, as many emails as you want. You also will want to make sure you're putting in at least one for every single section. A lot of people, they will skip, I don't care if I know quote is approved or invoice is approved, I just want to make sure I know payment. Well, at the end of the day, you definitely want to make sure you know that, because you can convert the quote that's approved into an invoice, and then once that invoice is approved, it will prompt your customer for payment. So getting notifications for every single one of these is definitely a good thing in the system. Now, once you put that information in, you're always going to want to make sure you're saving your changes so that you are going to get notified with every single process as far as art, quote, invoice, and all that good stuff. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we want to head up to your alerts and dashboards first. Now, this is where any art approvals are going to come through, any quotes, quick quotes that are made on the storefront, all of that good stuff. Now, what is an art approval? Anytime a customer saves artwork, it's going to generate what we call is an art approval. Now, all an art approval is the allowing you to open the communication barrier with your customer based on the artwork that they saved. Now, you can X out of them to the right if there's certain ones where it's like, that's not done yet. She's definitely just saving and making sure that once she saves, she can come back and edit that specific design. But let's say we took a look at, Linda's artwork. We click on the art approval and it's good to go. I want to make sure that I'm sending her a quote based on this. I can go ahead and convert this specific art approval into a quote or an invoice and send that then off to the customer. Now, when I create it as a specific quote, it is going to ask for some product. What do I want to put in here? What kind of product? Now, I can either, add multiple lines. I can go ahead and put in a description of existing items. If you have products that, you are all constantly using in this section, you can go ahead and set those up under reusable items. Now, that will actually pull into existing items where I can decide, yep, that Gildan t-shirt is what I want to use. Now, if not, you can always pull straight from your add from catalog. So any products that we've created or added in from a specific supplier, we can go ahead and create that and pull that through in the catalog. Now, you have the same functionality as you do under your managed products, where you have a search function, so I can search for a specific SKU. I can also select a specific filter type. So let's say I want to look for that 2000 product. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter on that, and then that product's going to pull through for me. Now I want to go ahead and select this product. It's going to ask for what color I want. So maybe I want to throw a couple colors on there. Maybe I want to do an ash as well as the yellow. I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way down now, and I'm going to hit next. So then I'm going to ask for my quantity. Now maybe my minimum for screen print is 12, and let's say this particular artwork is screen printed on 12 shirts as a minimum. I can go ahead and do 6 and 6, or maybe I just want to do, 12 mediums and 12 mediums, just to give her a little bit of, clarification about how much it would be to get 24 shirts. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And now it's going to ask me for my print pricing schedule. Do I want to pull an actual print price? Do I want to pull, my default screen print, because I'm using ash and yellow, and I definitely want to make sure that those are pulling my default or dark grid. Now you can also skip this and completely just, put in your own pricing as well. But let's say I want to, use my screen print default. Now I'm wondering how many colors I have on my front, back, or my sleeve print. Maybe her particular artwork came through at 4 colors. I can go ahead and select that and hit add product. That's then going to add my 2 lines. So I have 12 shirts of my ash, 12 shirts for my corn silk. Both are at a medium. The price is $10.71 each. So it's bringing in $128.52. Now we have our notes, which was created from a specific art approval. I can go ahead and add some more notes, just to make sure these notes will pull through to your customer. So you'll want to make sure that anything that you are putting in here, it's customer safe. Now you can add more designs if you wanted to. Maybe, I actually want to delete these. I can go ahead and, say I don't want these photos showing through, and I only want the front and back for my corn silk. Now you will have to delete the line item for ash if you didn't want that to pull through, but that's as simple as just hitting that X. Yes, I'm sure I want to remove that item. Then on the right, you have a specific subtotal. I do have a discount where I can do either a dollar amount or a percentage. And then I also can put in my shipping price as well as my taxation percentage. Now, let's say I save all this and I want to send it off to my customer as a quote. I'm going to go ahead and save my changes. And my select action now is I can actually email this to my customer. Now I can, before emailing, maybe you're like, I want to bypass quote. I want to make this an invoice because if she accepts this invoice, I want to prompt her for payment. So I can go ahead and straight convert this to an invoice instead of a quote. I can go ahead and click on that, click apply, and then this is going to now convert this quote to an invoice. I still get the same thing that I have in the quote. So I can now, instead of sending that to her as a quote, it is going to be an invoice. So I can go ahead and email that off to her by clicking apply. It's going to bring in my email. I can add some information in here and send that off to her. Now, cool thing about this as well is you can see what your customer will see. You have a customer view here where once I click this, click apply, I can see exactly what my customer will. Now, again, you have that, do you want to approve this? It's pending right now, but maybe she does. She can go ahead and approve it, and then it's going to prompt her for payment. So she'll be able to put in her credit card straight from this specific invoice. Now, again, all of those email notifications that we put in, if she approved it, you're going to get notified. If she put a payment on it, you're going to get notified about that as well. So you know, hey, I got payment, we're good to go. I'm moving forward with this specific order. Now you also have a shareable link here. So maybe you had your email open, Gmail or anything like that. Maybe you've been corresponding with her via Gmail. You can go ahead and copy the specific link, put that in the email as well, and it's going to show the same customer view just like I just showed you previously. Again, something that she can leave a comment, she can approve it, all that good stuff. So some people really like using the shareable link. It's entirely up to you. It is something that will pull through via email from the system. Again, it's one of those things, it's up to you if you want to, correspond via Gmail or if you want to kind of correspond via the notes on the invoice. Now, let's say a customer came in and they are like, I have an idea in mind, but I need your help as far as artwork. You could take down notes, have your graphic designer completely draw something out, and then you yourself can actually generate an art approval. So that's where that approval email comes through. That's something where if you're actually sending the art approval out to your customer, then definitely suggest using that as an art approval. When they approve the art, you can transfer that into a quote or an invoice and send it off to your customer just like we did here. Now, if you have any questions over your quotes and invoices and business tools, please feel free to reach out to us in support and we can help walk you through all of this. Again, if you need help, we have that green on-page guide that can help create a specific quote or invoice, invoice email notifications, what we kind of went over previously, or alternative method. So again, any questions, reach out to us so we can help walk you through it.